upset with himself. I think Tim thought he was in a different spot in the field, and he just... Bad shot by Tim. That's a rarity, a big-time rarity. That's about the only thing I can think of that Tim Karolexis was stunned where he was in the field. It's John Stanford right now, just a goal kicks is making life miserable for the Prep. Wildcats, because of the Stanford pressure, they have not been able to do anything at the Prep. As far as working in the field, the Wildcats have had opportunity after opportunity. Karolexis to Falco, heads it in. Todd knocks it away. Corner kick for the Wildcats. And Paul Chase to deliver on the corner kick, and the Wildcats nearly extending the lead as Stanford couldn't deflect it on net.
Goal kick, St. John.
Upfield it goes. Stoller knocks down. Well, I'll tell you, the setup for Ricky Falco was ideal, and Ricky just put a good shot on, just couldn't finish it as Todd made the save. Durham stuck his foot in there. Falco and Stanford help out. Tim Karolexis. Mancinelli comes out of the pack. Jared Mancinelli trying to explode upfield. As he works it ahead, Justin Smith on the far sidelines works it back. Prep working it through. Archer! And a great chance on a shot wide of the net by Liam Ryan. And boy, did Mancinelli create something big. Well, the Prep had their best chance here of the second half. Just couldn't get something towards the net. Archer gets a break because Archer, very, very physical. Those hands are just pushing off of Mike Stoller. Throwing coming up for the Prep. Liam Ryan. I'll enter your picture in just a moment. And it's tipped in front. Archer pokes it through. Oh, tipped in, the Prep.
Goal!
Justin Smith ties it with 18:59 left.
Goal!
160,000 young people can't win every day they take the practice field or every day they compete with another member school. But preparing to succeed is far more important than the undefeated season, the league championship, and the like. Failing is not defeat. True glory comes not from winning, but from picking yourself up after falling.
Goal by Justin Smith. Archer,
Justin Smith from Eric Archer, and tying the game. Now the Wildcats take the boxing term when boxer trains, getting back on the bicycle and get himself going. There's Nick Todd. You look back at that save off Rick Falco. And the Prep having trouble clearing it out. I'll tell you something. As far as this game goes, it's almost like last year in one aspect. At this particular point in the game, there's a Prep player shaken up. Prep player, okay, as Karolexis, the strong throw, and Falco, Stanford around it, and very unable to put it on net. I was going to say last year, when the two teams met up in Woburn, it was at this point of the game that the Wildcats took over and won the game with 2 goals in the final 23 minutes. The Prep getting a goal to tie it in the 22-minute mark. Tim Karolexis on a throw-in as Todd makes an outstanding play. I mean, Wildcats draped all over him. Nick Todd just climbed the ladder and grabbed it. And however, he does not get off the greatest punt in the world. Stoller comes back and drives it. Carol Alexis. After the goal, the Wildcats have picked it up. Carol Alexis chips it through. And Whalen tries to keep it in. The Wildcats can't. Oh, brand new game, 1-1. We play for a 15-minute, 50-second contest. That's as far as regulation goes. Stanford shaken up. Well, the Prep put on a surge and scored, and after that, the Wildcats come right back at them. Stanford. St. John's trying to claim that it was off Weymouth, and it wasn't. Wildcats, Sean Whalen putting it through. Todd grabs it. If he doesn't, John Pomar has the chance to pull the trigger. About 6 yards out. And put the Wildcats in top. Justin Smith, who got the goal, tips it ahead. Fournier knocks it down. On that goal, you got a key play from Eric Archer. He just tipped it ahead. And Justin Smith knocked it home. Aiello for Weymouth, Smith for St. John's as they try to mount something. Smith trying to go around Johnny Pomar, who does a great job defensively. And then Smith trying to do him one better. Smith does. Smith sends it across to the middle. Nobody there for the Prep. Stanford. This is just a situation. The Prep a little more physical than the Wildcats and taking advantage of the situation. 14 plus left. Mancinelli drives it. Crossbar! Oh my, how that didn't go in. It's beyond me.
Goal.
Well, Jared Mancinelli nearly put St. John's ahead on a wicked shot. That thing was a bullet. Greg Hull never saw it. The Wildcats, we'll talk about, and I remember Steve Schaff made the comment about in the Marshfield game. We were 6 inches from losing that on a play in the overtime. Well, the Wildcats were about 6 inches from being down 2-1 right there. Mancinelli hit a bullet. Well, the Wildcats clear it out. As the Prep put on a little surge of their own. Doug Burjo. And the Wildcats wait as they will have a substitution. Now Stoller. Robichier, who had a great run in the first half. Robichier in front. Justin Smith shoots. Greg Hull right now. Coming up with maybe the save of the game as far as the Wildcats go. Justin Smith got himself free and nearly knocked it home. And the Prep all of a sudden has come to life. Robichier, Smith, and company are just doing some very nice things out in the field. And the Wildcats, after the goal, looked like they were turning this game back around in their favor. Well, it's going to be who's going to be able to pick it back up and make it happen. I mean, it's cliche, but it's fact. Who's going to have that second wind and make something happen? And the Prep is really controlled in the last 5 minutes. They are starting to try to take command. Liam Ryan on the throw-in. He literally went to the other end zone to make the throw-in. McDonald. Justin Ryan over the
Goal
Smith.
Weymouth.
Wildcats coming back. The shot by Sean Whalen is blocked. Rebound loose. Todd blocks it, and it's a scramble. A scrum, it's loose. Shot, goal! Sean Whalen puts the Wildcats in front. Mancinelli trying to work it upfield, slipped and fell. Ooh, you look back. The Justin Smith blast that hit underneath the crossbar and went down. Instead of St. John's going in front, Weymouth gets the lead back. Sean Whalen in the scramble in front, and he's come up with big plays here in this tournament. And the Wildcats will try to hang on. Under 10 left. Wow, what a turnaround. The Prep put on some great pressure. Justin Smith hit a crossbar. He also was robbed by Greg Cool. You're talking about the two key plays, and the Wildcats come down and get the goal from Sean Whalen. This thing turned around. And just turned around in a hurry. And the Prep down a goal, just bringing everybody up as much as they can to the offensive end. Mancinelli was broken up. Prep throw in 9+ to go. 2-1 Weymouth. And this game really has been an excellent game. This has been a war between these two teams. The Prep fought back after giving up a goal in the first half. And the Wildcats, the Wildcats trying to hang on and get to the state title once again. Wildcats clear it away as Smith trying to come in. Virgil, bothered by Whalen. Mancinelli poked away by Scott. Weymouth just bunching up around Greg Hull. Everybody back now. Wildcats going to play the defense. They're going to try to just suffocate an area around and make St. John's try to get through that suffocated area around the box and just make the Prep work their tail off to try to get in at Greg Hull. Falco can't get to the ball. Falco does the next best thing in forcing the Prep into trying to work it back and get it upfield that way. Liam Ryan. Bounce through. Robiger knocked down. Scott clears it away and out of bounds. Close. Prep. Zanelli tried to get it free and couldn't. Ryan does knock it off Paul Chase. Under 7 left. And the Prep trying everything as Stanford knocks it away. Stanford and Carol Alexis brought back. Weymouth players off camera view. As soon as the ball goes back, they're all pointing. You got him, you got him. The game, making sure everybody is marked up with somebody. Steve Shaw says it's constant movement for the 11 people out there. And there you see the constant movement paying off because John Pomar, right spot. Toomey through the pack and wide.
Goal kick.
You know, the Wildcats, St. John's 2-1 last year, 2-1 this year. Weymouth winning last year and leading in this one this year. Chip down Archer, who set up the goal. Archer works himself in. Compraccio right there. Weymouth just doing a heck of a job defensively. They are just making sure that Greg Houle is not going to see the soccer ball with somebody at point-blank range. And if Houle sees it, he's going to see somebody where an opportunity, or Greg is going to have an easy opportunity to stop the soccer ball. Compraccio knocks it down. Whalen, who's got the, right now, the go-ahead goal. Just over 5 left. In regulation, 2-1 Weymouth. Archer, Eric, broken up Compraccio. Falco, and the Wildcats have the push. Falco, one-on-one. Falco trying to work his way free. Ricky to the left foot, Todd there. Loose ball chase, puts it away!
Goal!
You know, was watching Coach Steve Sharp after the goal. You were watching the Wildcat fans during that celebration from the Wildcats. Paul Chase and the fans. But the thing was, I was watching Steve Sharp, and it was just like a
The official time
wipe
on the
off
field.
of his brow. It's like as if to say, whew, that is the one we needed, and that is possibly the one to put this one away. Weymouth fans ecstatic. Key point in this one. And you talk about a few inches here and a few inches there. The Wildcats were a few inches from being down in this one, 2-1. And Justin Smith unloaded a bullet. Greg Houle never saw it. It hit the crossbar, went down, and then Weymouth, about a matter of minutes later, saw Justin Smith again put a shot on net that was grabbed by Greg Houle at point-blank range. And then the Wildcats, a couple of minutes later, Sean Whalen knocks one home. And that is what we have.
Sean Whalen.
3-1.
21.
Weymouth lead as Paul Chase, Sean Whalen, and Tommy Aiello the goals. And the prep right now just stunned. They really don't know what is happening. You know, they are emptying the bench, the prep. The Wildcats will go on. Return to the state title game at WPI, and they do it. Just gutting it out here in the second half. Stanford. You look at it, Wildcat leading scorers, John Stanford and Tim Carolexis,
Kept on the field.
have been shut down. And that shows you the depth of this team. The fact that I go back to a quote Steve Sharp has said a few times. We're 11 people moving. And if 11 people aren't moving, we're in trouble. Well, 11 people started moving in the last 14 minutes. And they have reason the Wildcats have gotten 2 goals to win this one and go to the state final.
Good sportsmanship is defined by the MIAA as the creation of atmosphere and courtesy. And
The MIA
please do your
sportsmanship thing being read, but the fact of the matter is the Wildcat fans just want to go out and congratulate classmates on a spectacular performance. They have done the job here in this one. It's just the clock is the ally of the Wildcats. When you talk about how a game can change all of a sudden, this one changed on a crossbar shot, and another opportunity that the Wildcat goaltender makes the stop, and then all of a sudden, bang. Weymouth comes down, scramble in front, Sean Whalen scores, and there is your ball game. It just turned around right there. Mancinelli trying to create one last chance for the Prep. As it's bounced in, and Greg Gould grabs it. On to the state finals, the Wildcats go again, and do it very impressively here tonight. They just want that final whistle to blow. Greg Gould grabs it, and it's just a matter of seconds away. Comprescio will take his time to Tom Aiello, who get the first goal. Sean Whalen will just add it to the Wildcat totals.
Number 21, Sean Whalen. Congratulations to Weymouth. Players, spectators, please stay off the field. Spectators, please stay.
The Eastern Mass champs, 4-1 winners over St. John's Prep. Sean Whalen, 2 goals in the second half, and the Wildcats. You look at that crossbar shot, and a great save by Greg Gould in a matter of minutes.
Congratulations to Weymouth.
As the Wildcats saw themselves backs against the wall, they bounced back with goals, 2 of them by Sean Whalen, and 1 by Paul Chase.
Post-game comments.
As the Wildcats, 3 goals in the second half, defeat St. John's Prep and advance on 4-1. As that will do it for everybody. The Weymouth Channel, glad you joined us. 4-1, Weymouth wins the Eastern Mass title. Good night from Cohasset's Alumni Field. Boston University's Nickerson Field. The Weymouth Channel presents the 1997 Division I State Soccer Title game as the Wildcats of Weymouth High take on the Lions of Ludlow. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Ducharme. I'll call your play-by-play. Ludlow, which defeated Wachusett to make their way to the state championship game 3-1. A very balanced team as the Wildcats. As Weymouth looking to repeat as state titleist as Ludlow, winners of the 1995 state title. And prior to the game, I talked to Weymouth High coach Steve Schaff, and we talked about the fact that, this game has been postponed a couple of times. Wildcats were on a roll, as was Ludlow. Do you think it is going to hurt this team coming into the state championship game 10 days after winning your last one?
Well, it's going to be the same for both teams, but it certainly is not good for the psychological edge, the physical edge, the emotional edge. I mean, we were ready to go. And, so was Ludlow. I mean, they were a good team, and they had a nice record going, too. So it's going to affect both teams. I just really am not looking forward to waiting until Saturday to play, but we're not in control of that.
When you look at it, everything that this team is doing well, how do you get it, that so-called level of momentum back, so to speak?
Well, we have had good cooperation from universities in Boston. Wentworth is going to give us some use of their field, and Boston University is going to give us some use of their field. and that'll help us. We can prep, and we can get them ready for AstroTurf. So maybe we can make this an advantage. I mean, that's what Griffin and I try to do all the time, is turn a negative into a positive, and that's what this is. This is a negative, but we'll turn it into a positive, and we'll get them more prepared for the turf.
Looking back at the season, the start was tough, then all of a sudden this team just gelled together. Did you ever feel that this team could build the momentum like they have to get back to the final?
I knew the seniors had it within them to get it done, but it definitely was in question after we were 2-2-1. And it really didn't have anything to do with the league change. It had to do a lot with our team change. You know, you graduate 9 starting seniors, and you have 3 kids returning that started. 2 of them started all the time, and 1 started, you know, once in a while. But that's where you have to adjust, and you have to find out, okay, what position is Rick Falco going to play? What position should Jojo Compercio be playing? You know, the goalie decision with Greg Cole had already been made over the summer, and we stuck with him, and he panned out to be beautiful. So I think once we got the roll going, it was up to the seniors to keep it going, but ball's in their court now.
When you look at how the tournament has come, you've gotten a couple of narrow escapes, so to speak. When you look back at that crossbar with St. John's, which all of a sudden turned the whole thing around, the Marshfield, where he hits the goal post. I mean, you've had some bounces, so to speak, but you almost can say one thing, that this team of destiny.
I don't know about that. All I can tell you is that old saying about the harder you work, the luckier we are. And this team works hard. And we declared ourselves that we were going to be the hardest working team in the state. And, you know, we may be. I try to convince them of that. And, you know, we work hard, real hard at practice. So I think that pays off down the stretch.
3 state titles in the 90s.